Early light is breaking, boots are hitting ground. Ned Wacky Baits in hand, fishing spots are found. Ozark streams are calling, secrets they bestow. Lines are casting smooth and clear where the cool waters flow.
Hello folks, I'm Ned Wacky, and today I would love to share my love and knowledge of Ned Wacky Baits with you. Let's start with the botworm on a drop shot, one of my favorites. This is a great way to catch fish in clear water. The drop shot rig consists of a main line, a leader with an egg weight and hook attached, and a small lure or bait suspended above the hook. Let's go over a little bit of technique with a Ned Wacky botworm to help you find success, like old Ned here. Fish the Ned Wacky botworm by jigging it in place and slowly moving the rig along the bottom. Bass will oftentimes inspect the bait, so a little shimmy goes a long ways when enticing a wary fish. Another great way to rig the drop shot is with the Ned Wacky mini bug butt rigged. That's right, I said butt rigged. Just nip it in the butt and watch them craws do the Ozark River dirty dance in the current. The battle bug. Say, did you know a crawdad doesn't hibernate? This is one reason you should continue with craws during the winter. Females also rely on the craw's protein for developing their egg sac. All life supports life. One of my favorite ways to rig the battle bug is on a football jig and fishing it around laydowns like this one. Make sure that when retrieving it back towards yourself, you retrieve it slowly, because you never know where a hungry fish might be lurking. You can also fish the battle bug on a weighted extra wide gap hook. This is another great way to fish the battle bug. Watch as this big female tracks the battle bug. She can't resist them craws. Oh, she's airborne. Keep the tension and don't lose this one. You just can't beat bass fishing. Well, would you look at that? Boy, oh boy. Now that's a dandy. Say, could I get you to take my picture? Thanks. Let's let her go and head back over to the river. This is how I work the Ned Wacky mini tube. First, cast it out and let it sink to the bottom. I like to let it sit for a bit before I start retrieving. Sometimes you land right on top of it. Next, you want to work it back by reeling in slowly and feeling the contour of the bottom. Try to keep contact with the bottom. It gives off a more natural presentation. By lifting your rod tip, you can imitate a crawdad hopping off the bottom. This will oftentimes get a fish to bite. If you feel a quick thump on the rod handle, that's a fish. Reel up the slack and set the hook. I feel a bite. Time to set the hook. She's gonna jump. Look at the size of that fish. Grab the net and help me land this monster. What a river brute. This feller has to be 20 inches. See you later, old girl. Let's move on to the next lure. You still watching old Ned? Well, I sure do appreciate that. Let's move on to fishing pockets with the Ned Wacky Mega Thump Paddle Tail Swim Bait. There's no lure quite like the Ned Wacky Mega Thump. When those rains come in and the water gets swift, this little guy is a menace. One of my favorite times to throw the Mega Thump is when the water is rising from heavy rains. Allow me to go into more detail about high water and fishing pockets. To fish the Ned Wacky Baits Mega Thump Paddle Tail, start by casting out into the current and then reel slowly while keeping tension on the lure. You should feel the thump of the lure in the handle of the fishing rod. If you don't get any bites after a few casts, try swimming it lower in the water column each cast. There's a bite. Set the hook with a sweeping motion and keep tension on the fish. Look at that smallmouth dance. Get the net. We don't want to horse him or play him too long. Well, would you look at that? That's a beautiful fish. You know we make quite the team. Fishing moving water with Ned Wacky Bass Baits can be a great way to catch fish. But it's important to know how to fish Ned Wacky Bass baits. Ned Wacky Bass Baits carries a great variety of creature baits like the Helga Monster, Battlebug, and Dead Dude, making them perfect for fishing in rivers, creeks, lakes, and ponds. I'm not sure what makes them so special. Maybe it's their signature Angry Wife scent, or maybe the neutral buoyancy plastic they're made from. One thing's for certain, you can't go wrong with a Ned Wacky tied on. If you would like to become a better fisherman or learn more about Ned Wacky Bass Baits, check out these channels on YouTube. Puddle Walkers Outdoors, Fish Smack, Double D Fishing Adventures, Baitin' with Brandon, Crazy Tight Lines, and many more to come. And as always, folks, thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you on the water.